Penyelesaian pelanggaran HAM berat masa lalu juga terus menjadi perhatian serius pemerintah. RUU, Komisi Kebenaran, dan Rekonsiliasi sedang dalam proses pembahasan. Dan tindak lanjut atas temuan Komnas HAM masih terus berjalan. Kepres pembentukan tim penyelesaian non-judicial pelanggaran HAM berat masa lalu juga telah saya tanda tangani.
The president can be very specific on achievement, but on human rights violation, he did not specify. Right? I think we have a lot that has been a call, killing of Munir, for example, and some problems in Papua. And there are low-hanging fruits, but the president mentioned about the case of Bank Indonesia liquidity assistance very specifically, and also he mentioned I think Jiwasraya case, corruption cases and so on. But when it comes to this human rights issue, no specifics from the president. But I think again this is a very complex problem, and it involves politics. And then it involves many things that needs to be considered on the issue of this. I think the fact that it is mentioned in the presidential speech, I think we have to really appreciate. And then it's call for action, I think, on us, how we are going to do this, to have this bill on truth and reconciliation. I think a commission. I think it is very much needed.
Sorry about that, but is this something that the human rights activists or victims of violation of human rights? Because I didn't see a lot of discussion on this, so probably this will throw everyone off guard, or this is something that we can expect today.
I think it's been expected, especially from the side of civil society. That Pak Jokowi mentioned this as I think he included this on his third agenda. He mentioned 5 big agendas, and I think this is also a very interesting part, that for him then these are the 5 agenda for us, at least from this year to next year. As Pak Yose mentioned, the first one is on the industrialization and downstreaming. Number 2, green energy and green economy. I think probably if you're the cut of the fuel subsidies must be mainstream into the second agenda of the president. And number 3 is the legal, social, political protection of the people. And he mentioned about law enforcement agencies.
Yes.
He mentioned Polri twice, but not on that particular context. But he reminded that we need a strong and healthy law enforcers. The police and others, and SMEs. And lastly, and what we discussed before the speech started, that he said the plan to have new national capital must continue. So that is the 5th agenda, big agenda that Pak Jokowi mentioned in the speech. And now I think it is very interesting because he included the social agenda, political agenda, not only about the election, but the elements of democracy, protection of human rights, and then the resolution to the past human rights violation. I think it's also needed, although we don't know how he is going to achieve this, because next year already political years, and then it must be very difficult to have this human rights violation settled.
I may add, on this issue, is where he has to depend on the people's help.
Right.
The assistance of the people, especially the NGOs, but not only the NGOs, the common people, is a very critical issue whether he can achieve it or not.
Yes.
Because on this issue, he will have to face his own apparatus that he cannot control completely. So that's why, he is dependent on the people's awareness on this issue. Yeah. And the media is a very important part, I think, in this issue.
Yeah.
So does the timing of this matter, because he only have 2 years left, so probably he
but
little to lose.
But it is very important that he take this up, and even at the end of his term, because it is a critical issue that has to be continued by his, the next president. And one issue particularly I would like to mention is Papua.
Yeah.
And that has not been mentioned,
Yeah.
Okay.
which is a critical issue, which have a political and international aspects, but also domestic ones and the economy. And therefore, that is definitely one issue that I would like to pick up and debate it further.
I agree. Yeah.